So chat, thank you for listening on Rumble and on Twitch. I am now moving to YouTube.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you.
And I have the lovely AJ in the building. And we got the Keefy Deefy.
May I please have you state and spell your first
Keefy Deefy popping off.
James McDonald. J-A-M-E-S M-C-D-O-N-A-L-D.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Mr. Paul, whenever you're ready.
I know you can't
Mr.
hear
McDonald, it's fair to say that you're here,
but you might want to pull up like the
that you didn't volunteer to come or anything like that.
Not at all.
Okay.
Or go to the.
But you were instructed by a course that you had to attend.
Yes.
I want to ask you about September 7th, 1996. Were you at Club 662?
Yes.
What was Club 662?
It was a club that Suge bought, and we operated it. When he opened, I was head of security through the neighborhood. Just a place to go and hang out.
Did the number 662 mean anything?
It was part of our neighborhood, 662, MOB.
Okay, MOB. And when you say MOB, there used to be, before Apple iPhones and those types of things, when you had to have landlines and you pressed numbers, 662, there would be a letter would be on 2.
Yes.
So 662 would be MOB.
Yes.
When you talk about Suge, are you talking about Suge Knight?
Yes, sir.
How did you know Suge?
He lived in my neighborhood.
And is that in Compton?
Yes.
When you were at Club 662, you said you were head of security.
Yes.
Was somebody by the name of Reggie Wright Jr. there with you?
Not at that time.
No?
No.
When was he with you?
I got out of prison in 1988. Suge came and got me in 1988, like 4 days from coming home. Started another company, Fern Hill Records. Then Death Row Records came. Soon as Death Row was launched, Reggie came a few months after that.
Okay, so we're talking about the start of Death Row Records. Reggie wasn't part of Death Row Records initially, but you were.
Yes.
And then Suge Knight, was he the boss of Death Row Records?
Yes.
Okay.
From the mob,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Suge was, he was guilty by association.
Okay.
He wasn't from the neighborhood. He lived in the neighborhood. We looked at him as somebody from the neighborhood. When he started Death Row,
what James would do is go outside, get guys that look like they had a bunch of money and bring them to the front of the line. And that drove my security crazy, but James was just out there working the door. Suge would have a bunch of his homeboys to come and be on the lookout, still, blood related, Paru related, to be around. But James was mainly doing a little side hustle.
Now, in terms of as the person in charge, or the person contracted to be in charge of death row security, were you aware that Tupac Shakur was going to come to the fight on September 7th, 1996?
Definitely the plan. That was definitely the plan, and there was a reason that I knew he had to come, but that was definitely the plan.
Okay, well, tell us the reason why he had to come.
So we, Mr. Khalees, who he had something worked out, because that's why we had off-duty police officers. I don't know if they were off-duty. They were in uniform, so I don't know if they was working off-duty or they were on duty. But we had, my guys were responsible from the door inside, where the police officers were responsible for the door and the street, traffic control, and the parking lot. And so I guess how they got that approved was
Well, if you're guessing,
Okay.
I don't want you to guess. Were you the person responsible for whatever event control or traffic control that the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department did?
no, sir.
Were you the point of contact?
I was the point of contact for the club. Yes.
Yeah, but you're the point of contact for the club, and then the person. Is it fair to say that the person dealing with whatever traffic control or event control or population control, whatever it was that the attorney, George Cleese?
He was the one that got them there,
Okay.
made the call to get them there.
Okay. So you weren't the one that called Metro.
No, sir.
So anything that you would have said regarding that is just kind of you trying to put the dots together, assuming what that conversation might have been.
And the only reason I say that because I knew we promoted it as a benefit for a retired boxer, for a police he was a retired police officer that was promoting or had something to do with boxing for youth or something like that.
So that kind of is adding to the P's and Q's that make Mr. Knight look better when the transfer of when they're trying to transfer this club. Hey, we're also holding a benefit.
That and also Mr. Shakur was trying to work off some community service hours that he needed. I don't know how they made it happen in LA County.
And so Mr. Shakur was scheduled to perform that night at Club 662. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And so you're telling us that it was your understanding that Mr. Shakur performing at Club 662 at this benefit would help him accumulate hours for community service.
Yes, sir.
So when was Tupac Shakur supposed to come to Las Vegas?
Well, they always came up on that Saturday. I know that they arrived about 4 p.m. on that Saturday, but if they were scheduled to come out earlier or not, I'm not sure.
And then at some point, who's the security for Tupac that Saturday?
Mr. Alexander, but he was out there with me, getting the town cars and everything. Mr. Shakur actually rode up with, I guess, his fiance and a few members of the Outlaws.
And who are the Outlaws?
The Outlaws is a bunch of people actually, but it's a group of rappers that works with Mr. Shakur that he was trying to help get their careers going.
And was Malcolm Greenidge one of the members of the Outlaws?
Yes, sir.
And I think he goes by the name Edie Amin.
That's correct, sir.
And Qatari Cox, was he one of the members of the Outlaws?
Yes, sir.
And then Afula, and I always get the name wrong, but Mr. Afula, was he also one of the members of the Outlaws?
He was as well.
Okay. And you said Mr. Alexander was the person that's supposed to be working security, or the person assigned for security for Mr. Shakur, but that he was with you. So on Saturday, was anybody with Mr. Shakur?
No, sir.
And you had mentioned earlier that after the song "Hit 'Em Up" had come out, and that was probably 3-4 months before this, you had assigned 2 security officers to Mr. Shakur.
That's correct.
So where's the other one?
Well, that was Mr. Hackey, Kevin Hackey. He was scheduled to also be attending and writing, and that's who I actually thought was going to be with him, coming up with him, because he normally was with him. You know, him and Mr. Alexander, they kind of worked out who would be with Mr. Shakur. And for some reason, he didn't show up. He now telling me he had a late arrest, and he was stuck at the hospital all day dealing with an arrest.
So the fight night arrives. Where are you? You go to the fight?
I went to the parking lot of the fight, saw it was kind of hectic to get inside, but also got a call from Mr. Giddings, Al Giddings, who was my supervisor at the club, and they was having some logistic problems, some problems there, and I elected to go and get things in order at the club.
So you get to the parking lot at MGM, see it's a little crazy, and decide to head over to Club 662.
That's correct.
And was Club 662, it was on Flamingo, is that right?
1700 block of Flamingo, yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, can I see Exhibit 2? I'm going to publish Exhibit 2, which has already been admitted. All right, actually, Mr. Wright, you're not positioned great for any of this, but there we have, can you see 662 up there?
I don't have my glasses.
No worries.
I'm sorry.
I got you. Commissioner Brooks, Runner? No, Commissioner Brooks?
Oh, yeah. I'm saying about the courtroom freely.
Thank you. You see clubs, there's a red 662 club on this map. You see it?
Yes, sir.
Is that accurately representing where Club 662 was?
Yes, sir.
So you leave the Las Vegas Strip and head over to Club 662.
That's correct, sir.
Did you handle the logistical issues at Club 662?
I guess. I'm sure we got worked out. Yes, sir.
And then, was Club 662, did you stay at Club 662 or did you head back to the Strip that night?
No, I stayed there the whole time until I was contacted by some other individuals.
Okay, so we'll start.
So I think he was like the bodyguard, right? Would you say so? Right? I think this dude is I think his dude is like the bodyguard, but why is he arrested? That's crazy though, no, right?
Yes.
Cause why is he arrested? He's in like that little brown jumpsuit. Did he do it or did he didn't? That's all I'm asking. But we watching this live though. The case is still going on. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're watching this live. All right. Well, let's finish listening. But I mean, so far, what do you think's going on? I don't know. You know what's going on? I'm listening. All right.
Before we get there, how was 662 super busy that night, or was it kind of less crowded?
The clubs generally didn't start getting crowded until about 11 p.m. I think we were there like 8:30. So it eventually got there, but I wouldn't call it super crowded at that point.
And then you said you were there, and then you something changed. Well, we all know that on September 7th, 1996, Tupac Shakur was shot, and Mr. Knight was at least grazed in the head by a bullet. Did you find out about that?
Yes, sir.
How did you find out about that?
Two gentlemen, Buntry, true name was Alton McDonald, and a gentleman by the name of Neckbone. Well, his true name is Roger Williams, and his moniker is Neckbone. They came inside the club and came straight to me. It was like, Reggie, Suge and Pop just got shot down the street. I thought they were messing with me because they like, where Reggie at, you know, because I wasn't there with them. But then Mr. Khaleesi, who was standing near me, I guess he talked to some of the officers that was working out front, and he kind of verified to me that something happened. And then by that time, I see about 4 or 5 other units that were working at the club. They started taking out heading that way.
Now you mentioned 2 people, Buntree, Alton McDonald. Does Buntree have any relation to James McDonald, the person that testified before you?
That's his little brother. Yes, sir.
And then you mentioned Neckbone, Roger Williams. Were these people employed by Right Way Security?
No, sir.
Were they part of Mob Pyro?
Yes, sir.
Is it fair to say, as we talked about earlier, that Suge would have members of Mob Pyro around?
Correct.
And while they weren't official security, would you say they provided a different form of security?
That would be a fair, yes, that's correct.
So upon hearing the fact that, well, at that time when Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur were headed to Club 662, were you aware of their movements? Were you aware that they were headed over to the club at that point?
Not at that point. I hadn't heard anything. Frank hadn't communicated anything with me, and I just knew they would eventually get there. But no, I didn't know any movement where they were at or when they were coming towards our way.
Oh, you had said Frank hadn't told you anything. At this point, had Frank met up with Tupac?
Oh, I'm sorry. Frank was with Mr. Shakur since about 4 p.m. on that day, 4 to 5 p.m. on Saturday. He was with him all that day.
So he didn't drive out with Mr. Shakur, but he eventually met up with Mr. Shakur.
That's correct. Him and another gentleman who initially was with him by the name of Michael Moore.
And was Mr. Moore also a member of security?
He worked for Right Way as well.
Okay. And so then you have Mr. Shakur, Mr. Knight headed to Club 662. To your knowledge, were there other...
Real quick, you know what I want to ask? Even if this dude is guilty of this, what does this do? Like, what are they solving with this? You know what I'm saying, Ben?
Yeah.
Like, what are they gaining from finding Keefe D guilty of this? Is it like a moral victory or something? I really don't understand what they're gonna get from this. All right, but the heat is on. Are you listening?
Yes.
See, she's not even listening, chat. Chat, this is
I'm
live
watching
too.
it on YouTube.
This is live, and she's not even listening. They want to hear your opinion. What happens if this dude's found guilty? This is justice for Tupac? Is it? Hello?
Yeah.
Do I have to say your name when I'm talking to you?
No.
Why you not listen to it? Tell them people to shut up in the background. Nobody want to hear that gang banging stuff. Alright, I'm about to get her off this. You're not good for live stream. We're gonna continue this, FB. You can say bye, AJ. You're out of here. Hello?
Bye.
Other people headed over, I guess we already heard about Neckbone and Buntree. Were there other people headed over to Club 662 with Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur? On driving over, was it more than one car, or were there a number